Hello, Allie Wolf here, the Chief Economist with Meyers Research, here to give you your September jobs update. Now, we went into this report looking for 1 million jobs to be added. That would make us feel comfortable that the recovery is continuing on this steady path. Now, unfortunately, the report did disappoint. We added 661,000 jobs in the month of September, down from the 1.5 million we added in August. Now, don't get me wrong, the economy is still improving. It's just that rate of growth is slowing down. We are 10.7 million jobs shy of where we were in February of this year, but the unemployment rate now has dropped below 8%. So we have a 7.9% headline unemployment rate and a 12.8% U6. That's your all-in unemployment number. There were good and bad trends when you dig into the data. So starting with the good, every sector except government added jobs in September. Construction, of course, the sector we're looking closely at, did post gains, but overall, 50% of all the jobs added came from leisure and hospitality. This is important because in normal times, consumer spending is broken out into 70% services, 30% goods. But what we've seen in this cycle is that the goods component has been really strong, but the services side has been impacted because it requires close human contact, and of course that's not desirable in a COVID-19 era. So at least this is showing us that service sector is starting to come back to life and the growth is more diversified. On the negative side, our permanent job losers number that we've warned you about has now gone up to 3.8 million. Still below the 7 million we saw during the last cycle, but an important consideration that as this drags on, more people lose their jobs. Maybe they don't have a job to go back to, they're no longer furloughed, and of course some businesses now are going under permanently. Another really important thing to look at is that 4.4 million people have left the labor force. And when they leave the labor force, they're not counted in the unemployment rate. And so one of the main reasons that's disproportionately impacting women is that some people have stepped aside for childcare duties. So if you added in those 4.4 million people that were in the workforce in February and are not today, and you add back in the coding error that the Bureau of Labor Statistics has told us about consistently, our actual unemployment rate would be closer to 11%. So there are some devil in the details with this report for sure. The final thing I want to mention is that this is 2 to 3 weeks old. And that's important because just this week we saw the 28,000 layoffs from Disney. We saw that the airlines have done massive furloughs, which will likely get reversed if we get a stimulus deal packaged and more money to the airlines, but we still have to account for that. Allstate shed jobs, Marathon shed jobs. So it's starting to increase some of these other companies that had expected demand to come back very quickly. And it's actually taken a little bit longer, and so they have to adjust their staff accordingly. I guess the other good thing we can say about this report is we've seen this stalemate in Washington with the Democrats and the Republicans just not able to come together on what the ideal stimulus package is. Last month, I talked about how the good jobs report would work against being able to get that money passed. Now, with a report that came in below expectations, that should be good for additional stimulus to get pushed forward. So we'll keep a close eye on that, an important component to continue this economic recovery. That's all for now. I will see you guys at our webinar on October 28th to talk about trends in the home building industry. Otherwise, stay safe. Thank you.